Hi, another one of those videos where you see my hands. Some people make talking heads videos, I make talking hands. So, today we have this baby, this bad boy, that fits nicely in the hand. It's Metabo WE 9/12.5 quick. It's a corded angle grinder. This is the other information. And it needs also bearing replacements. Here we are. This is the part that came out relatively easily, and it's pretty elementary and basic. So in order to get this thing out, I had to remove 4 screws, and that's about it. The trickiest part is getting these screws out, because this blocks your access to partially, so you either need to be a bit creative with the tool or have one with a very thin shaft tool, or you need to remove this part first and then have a nicer access to these two problematic ones. So these are all torque standard, so that's what we will need to use to get these other ones out and continue working. In case, so let's try 25. It's definitely obviously too large, and the 20 fits just nicely, so it's there's not much doubt about that, but it's better to check and be certain. So removing this, and I've already prepared these little things so that I don't forget, and I also printed out this is important. This is important. Let's try to show it on camera. And there's nothing here to worry about. If it were not the case, I would need to place them as I have removed them so that I know which one goes where. So now this should come off. You usually need to pry it a bit to use a bit more strength, but this is not the first time it came out. So this is the installation, and I'm not 100% sure that it was originally assembled when it came to me assembled properly. I had some doubts, so I found this online, and so that when I put it back together again, I will be able to figure it out more easily. It does. So let's try to unscrew it. Okay, so this took just a bit of persistence, or should I say brute force. So now we have here this little thingy, and here is our nut. So nut goes with the rounded part towards this sprocket. That is important to note, and it's also shown on the graph that I have, so that gives me some extra confidence that I really got it the right way. We have a very thin washer before the bearing. That is not a replaced part. So we have this little thing, and it is symmetrical as far as I can tell. And these are the parts we have for now. So the little thingy, then this thing, then this thing. So that's how it goes there. And now we have the bearing here. Now let me try to move it. Okay, there it went, the bearing. Inner diameter is nominal 8 millimeters. Outer diameter is nominal 22 millimeters, as far as I can tell, and the width or the thickness is nominal 7 millimeters. So that is this bearing, and for what is worth, the red side was towards the the inside of the machine. There goes the bearing, and now we should have another very thin washer before this, but that other washer is not present here with this machine in particular, as far as I can tell. So I have this baby and no, nothing else. So probably previous Slavic engineer thought that some parts were extra. So I will not be showing how to clean this. I think that my viewers know how to use the brushes, and I will use some compressed air to try to be gentle and remove this dust from all these parts. So but this would be the next one in line as it went. And now we have this bearing on this end, and I will try to use the same technique that I used for the previous one. There should be some cap and some other washer before that bearing, and that was probably stuck inside the tool. Okay, maybe, hopefully. This was not, I did not disassemble this tool, but even if I did, this came out without any other parts, so that those other things that are shown here in the graph, as you can see, we have that bearing, but we don't have this and this. That's probably left inside the tool, and when we're putting this back together, we must be careful to not break anything. So now let's see. My cunning plan should be visible in the camera now. Do not try this at home. I'm not sure that this is a wise thing to do, nor would I dare to endorse this. And it turns out that my idea was not very brilliant, so this thing cracked before I could get to try to punch it out. Okay, that makes some sense. It's strong yet brittle. So there goes our bearing. Okay. A smaller bearing puller would have done the job. Okay, we are making progress. The bearing is still not out, so I will try a few more bumps. Okay, and there we are. So the inner diameter should be more or less intact, so it's 6 millimeters, and I can double check by measuring this outer diameter. So okay, 6 millimeters nominal. Okay, 20, let's try this. So 19 millimeters nominal outer, 6 inner, and the width 6 millimeters. Okay, so that's the bearing from the other side, and as far as I can tell, there's nothing left here. So this part is, let's say, finished. We could say that. And so this is how it goes. And now we have this little section that needs cleaning just. So this thing goes from here, and we have this fun part, this for 13 millimeters, and I suppose the optimal way would be to put this in a vise, but I think this will be also possible because it's not stuck. It's not. Okay. Go one against another. So they have a few of these like small kinks, and they are supposed to go like this, so interlaced. Okay, that makes sense. That's the second part. So this thing goes on top, then this. Okay, like that. Good, good. Then we have two of these little washers. One is thinner than a thicker one. So apparently like this. The thinner one going on top, as far as I can see. And then, okay, then we have this that is completely round and in the middle round. And then after it we have this part. There are some grooves here, trying to figure it out. So I have this part that is a bit rounded, then this other part that is flat, and it looks like the conical side of this should go up. Let's see, we'll try it like that, and then this thing beneath it, something like that. Okay, something like that. And then goes this part that has like two holes. It has two like small protrusions that go into these two holes. Apparently, yes, that's how it goes. Okay. And then there's the other side of this. And there should be another one of those with a protrusion, but I don't see it. So in this case, I only have this one that is flat and this one that is a bit beefier, that go like this. Oh, here it is. It was probably stuck. Yes, it was stuck, so I do have that on the other end. Okay, so that's the order how they go, one on top of each other. Hop, 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 hop. Okay, and then we have this. This is something that I need to now try to punch out of. So I added some plastic and rubber here and putting this over. Okay, that should provide me with some spread of the impact. And now I can, okay, let's try some M8 washers. Okay, they fit nicely and easily over this. Okay, that should be enough to protect. Let's, okay, that's it. Okay. No progress. And it's out. This plastic, and it looks to be perfectly intact. So I managed to just punch out the axle. So it was like this, and now we've pulled it out. So that's the part that we have as it is on the drawing. So this thing and all these assemblies will be saved. We just need to remove this bearing, which should be hopefully easier now. We shall see. So after a lot of trying, this is apparently molded in as far as I can see, and I cannot remove it without damaging anything. The bearing is obviously larger than the outer plastic. So not very successful. This would need to be sourced and replaced.